So to begin, you want to have Photoshop open here. So you'll see I have Photoshop here. If you do not, go ahead and pause this video and do so. Once Photoshop is open, you're going to click on this Image 1 link. And then you're going to hit the download button here at the top right hand corner. If this is never here, you click the more actions and you'll see an option to open in a new window, which then will show this download button. So click download and you'll see it pops up down there. Go back to Photoshop, click open, and in your downloads folder you should see your image. So open your image and you'll see this here. So the Photoshop workspace looks like this. Along the top you have your menu. Under here this is called the options bar, and you'll notice when I click these different tools my options bar changes. Then of course you have your toolbar here on the left. This is called the document window, and you'll notice you can actually have multiple documents open here. Along the right hand side, these are called panels. So you'll see there's lots of different panels here. So the first thing I want to show you is how to change your workspace. So in the menu, you have your Windows option. If you click Window, you'll see a workspace. You'll notice I'm on the photography workspace. So go ahead and go to Windows, Workspace, click on Photography, and then don't do this. So if you ever have this happen where maybe your toolbar disappears or you have like some important panels somehow disappear, to get everything reset to default, you go to Window, Workspace, Reset Photography, and you'll see it'll reset everything back to the default. So that is really good to know. So we are always going to be working under the photography workspace, so don't forget that. So from here, we are going to learn how to use the crop tool. So the crop tool is here. You'll see that the shortcut is the C key. So that's a nice shortcut to know. So if I push C, it'll automatically select it. So when the crop tool is selected, you'll see it has these little brackets that you can move. So on this image, we're going to actually line up the horizon line with that line. And we have a bunch of stuff here on the left that we're going to crop out. So you want to crop your image to look similar to this. And then once you get it set, you hit the Enter key on your keyboard and it's going to set that. So that's how crop works. If you ever mess up, a good shortcut to know is Control Z. So if I hit Control Z, you'll see it undoes my work, which will happen sometimes. The other way is to do Edit Undo. That's another way to do it. But I want to keep my crop. So I'm going to redo, Control Shift Z. You'll see it'll go back. That's also Edit, Redo. Okay, so undo, redo is really important to know. Next, we have this crooked horizon line. So when you have your crop tool selected, you'll see in your options bar, you have the straighten option. Here we have like an icon for a level. So if you click that icon and activate it, you can now click and drag across. Notice how I have this here. I'm going to drag across a line that's actually lined up with the horizon line. And you'll see that it'll automatically shift your image to be straight. And then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, again, if you mess up, just hit enter, Control Z it, try it again. Okay, so it's like you just click and drag it across. Of course, that's not what you want to do. So it should look like this. So that's crop and straighten. Next, we have zoom. So at the very bottom of your toolbar, you have the zoom tool. If that's selected, you'll see in the menu or the options bar, you have plus and minus. So if the plus is selected, of course, it's going to zoom in. If you select the minus, zoom out. However, I typically just do on my keyboard Control minus and Control plus. I think that's a lot easier than going down to select that. So let's zoom in. So I'm going to hit Control plus, zoom in really close like that. The next tool you're going to see is the Rotate View tool. Okay, so you'll see that there's actually tools tucked into each other. So if you right click on a tool, if you see it has this little triangle at the bottom, you'll see there's other options. Above the zoom tool, select the rotate view tool, and you'll see you can rotate your canvas. Okay, you click and kind of rotate it. Keep that boy straight. Okay, we don't need to rotate it too much. So just know that's a thing. If I right click again, let's select the hand tool. The hand tool allows you to pan an image. So if I'm doing some really meticulous editing, like if I'm trying to get rid of little tiny things, and I'll show you how to do that eventually, your hand tool is good for doing that. Now, again, this is another tool that I usually don't click on. So let me go back to, say, my crop tool. And with any tool selected, if you hold down your space bar, so see how I'm pushing down my space bar and it's automatically selecting my hand tool? That's what I normally do, and that's what I would recommend. But you do want to know where they're located just in case. So hold down your space bar if you ever want to pan. Okay. So Control minus, go ahead and zoom out. If your canvas is still crooked, like if it's like that, just click on your crop tool and it'll reset it. So see how it straightened it for me? So that's kind of good to know. All right, so from here, we are now going to save this as a JPEG and turn it into Classroom. So from here, go to File, Save As, because we want to see where it's saving. You never want to save into these files here, like downloads, documents, because it's occasionally wiped. I recommend saving it into your Creative Cloud files. So if you click that, you'll notice I have tons of folders already in mine. You want to create a new folder titled Digital Photo 1. So you'll see I already have one. You'll see I already have one saved. That's okay. So you shouldn't have this. So make a new folder for Digital Photography 1, and then make sure that says JPEG. Okay, this should already be like that. And then hit save. I already have one, so I'm going to hit yes. You shouldn't. This box is going to pop up. Always make sure, a lot of times it likes to default at 8. Get in the habit of cranking that all the way to the maximum quality and hit OK. So now that this is saved, you want to then navigate to Google Classroom, open up this task, attach the file just like you did before on the Chromebooks. So from here, you're then going to do this again with the second image. So go over the same process. You want to be able to crop and straighten automatically. So try to remember all those steps here. If you can't remember a few steps, you can always go back to the step-by-step walkthrough instead of watching this whole video again. So you're going to edit image 2, and then I'd like you to edit 5 of your own photos and upload those. So you're going to have 7 photos total to upload today. And at the end of today, you should be really, really good at cropping.